Okay, so now we're going to look at when circles are touching the x or y axis. Okay, now if a circle touches the x-axis, this is what it looks like. Now, you know you go over the x and go up the y. If it's touching the x-axis, your radius is how far up or down, depending on where the circle is, you actually went. So just for example, this might make it a bit easier. If your centre is 3, 2, you went over 3 and up 2. So your radius is 2. Your radius is the absolute value of the y-coordinate of the centre. So your radius is the absolute value of the modulus, the magnitude of minus f. Okay, so it's just something you're going to learn off. The radius is the absolute value of minus f. Then you're going to get your radius formula, which is g squared plus f squared minus c. Square root of that. Okay, here you're going to square both sides. Okay, and when I square this, the square root cancels. And when I square this, the absolute value of minus f just becomes f squared. Okay, the f squared here and the f squared here cancel, and then the minus c comes over and becomes plus c. Now, this is something we know, so you can actually just learn off. If the circle touches the x-axis, then g squared is equal to c. Okay, same with the y-axis. You go over x and you go up to get the centre. So the distance you went over for the x is the same as the radius. So the radius is the absolute value of the x-coordinate, or the absolute value of whatever minus g is. Because we're dealing with circles, we use minus g minus f. Okay, so again, the radius is the absolute value of minus g. Use your formula, square both sides, g squareds cancel, f squared is equal to c. So now we're going to use that in the question. Okay, so find the equations of the two circles which contain the point 3 minus 2 and 2 minus 1 and which touch the x-axis. Now I've just drawn myself one of the circles. Okay, so I just plotted those 2 points and I had it touch the x-axis. Another one of those circles, it would look something like this. Now there's no need to draw both because the algebra is going to find you the two answers. Okay, now I know it touches the x-axis, so I could have just learnt off when it touches the x-axis that g squared is equal to c, but I just wrote it all out again. Okay, so if it touches the x-axis, the radius is equal to the absolute value of the minus f. Okay, now I know it touches the x-axis and I know that these 2 points are on the circle, so I'm going to use those 2 points. So my general equation of a circle is this, and I know 2 minus 1 is on the circle, so I'm just going to fill that in instead of x and y. So minus 1 plus 2 times g times 2, 2 times f times minus 1 plus c equals 0. And you're just going to tidy all that up, and you're going to get 4g minus 2f plus c equals, and 4 and 1 is 5, so minus 5. Okay, then I'm going to do the same thing for the other point. So I'm going to fill 3 minus 2 in. So 3 minus 2 plus 2 times g times 3, 2 times f times minus 2 plus c equals 0. And again, 6g minus 4f plus c equals 9 and 4, 13. Bring it over, minus 13. Now, I have these two. So I can do simultaneous equations with these two and get rid of the c's. Actually, I don't want to get rid of the c's because I have a c here, so I'm going to use that. Okay, so I'm not going to get rid of the c's, sorry, because I have g squared equals c. I want to be able to replace a c with a g squared. So I have g squared. I have g's. So I think I'm going to get rid of the f's. All right. So let's eliminate f. So I'm going to do simultaneous with these two. 6g minus 4f plus c is minus 13. I'm going to multiply that top line here by minus 2. Okay, and that's going to get me minus 8g plus 4f minus 2c is 10. And 6g minus 4f plus c is minus 13. They cancel. So minus 2g minus c is minus 3. Okay? Now, from there I'm going to substitute in my c. Okay? So I have minus 2g minus g squared is minus 3. Okay, so remember g squared is c, that's important there. And now I have a quadratic, so I'm just going to bring those over there. G squared plus 2g minus 3 equals 0. Okay, factors of minus 3 are going to be 1 and 3. 1 and 3, and it's going to be minus 1 plus 3. So then g is 1 or g is minus 3. There's two answers for g. Now we can get two answers for c, because c is g squared. Okay, so c is 1 squared, which is 1, or c is minus 3 squared, which is 9. Okay, and then we're going to substitute those two in to get answers for f. Okay, so into any one of the lines, I'm going to pick just the top one there. So 4g minus 2f plus c is minus 5. I'm going to fill 1 and 1 in first. Sorry, that's an f there. Plus 1 is minus 5. So 4 minus 2f plus 1 is minus 2f is, so minus 5, and minus 5 is minus 10. So f is 5. So my points are g is 1, f is 5, and c is 1. Okay, then I'm going to do the same equation again, but this time I'm filling in these two here. So minus 3 and 9. So 4 times minus 3 minus 2f plus 9 is minus 5. Minus 2f is minus 12 plus 9. Bring it over, change the signs. I get minus 2. So f is 1. So then I have g is minus 3, c is 9, and f is 1. And I can just fill them back into my general equation here to get two equations of circles. Okay, so equation 1, x squared plus y squared plus 2gx. So that's 2x plus 2fy, so that's 10y, and then plus c equals 0. And the same thing for equation 2, x squared plus y squared plus 2gx, so that's minus 6x, plus 2fy, 2y, and then plus c equals 0. And there you have two equations of the circles. Okay.